Hello, my name is Kirioth, and today we are going to have a little follow-up chat about the Warhammer Supply Drops. Now I know what you're thinking, couple of things, probably. Firstly, if that intro is a bit much, yes it is. Don't worry, there's a little interactive game in there for you, because the text at the bottom is probably going to change very frequently. Try and collect all the weird messages I leave for you. Secondly, yes, there is a fan on currently. I will try and remove the background noise when I'm editing this, but the chances are I won't be able to get rid of it. But it's that or actually melt and die. So, just this once, we'll have the fan on. Now, the Warhammer Supply Drops. Okay, so, got a couple of examples of what's in them. The Underworlds one, pretty much what I thought it would end up being. Things like cards and a mat and Beastgrave featured heavily, like the actual Beastgrave box, and a couple of extra warbands. That's kind of what I assumed we would get out of that, because what else are you going to do with the Underworlds box? The Imperium one, a little bit different. So we've got two specific examples that I want to touch on. So, in the UK, it was reported that a box contained Baneblade, Cadian Command Squad, Commissar, and Cadian Heavy Weapons Squad. That, to me, is a solid box. That's a solid entry. That's pretty nicely done. In the when it comes to the article talking about it, it was like, want to start a new army? Why not let Fate decide? Fate has decided that, yes, you're probably going to be starting an Imperial Guard army there, because you've got a good selection of units for that force. I mean, the Baneblade by itself is more expensive than the box was, so that's definitely a win. Also, quite a sizable project in and of itself, even before you get to the other stuff in there. Even Barry would be happy with that particular box, because you could loot the Baneblade, and Barry would be super happy with that, and kill the Commissar, probably. One of the other ones, however, not quite so good. So, in Italy, there was a picture of this box floating around, and it contained Adrax Agatone, the Salamander's character, Master Lazarus, the Dark Angel's character, Mephiston, the Blood Angel's character, Kosaro Khan, the White Scar's character, oh, man, some oh my god. Some Arco-Flagellants? Flaggerinos? Who knows? Some Fenrisian Wolves, and some bikes. Now, in the case of the UK one, where you get a tank and a bunch of stuff that's directly related to said tank, the Italian one is kind of naff. That is where Fate has looked at the question of, should I start a new army, and has decided, no. No, you shall not start a new army, because what army could you even start with, 3 named characters that can only be built as named characters, and a Dark Angel character that can be just used as a generic guy as well, but that's a bit of a mix. Throwing in with those some Fenrisian Wolves, which the eagle-eyed and sharp of mind among you will know you can't use those in a Salamander's army, a Dark Angel's army, a Blood Angel's army, or indeed a White Scar's army, so you are somewhat out of luck there. I mean, the bikes, yeah, you can use with any of them, but what are you going to do with the wolves? You can't do anything with the wolves, unless you want to treat them as, I don't know, what would you even proxy the wolves as? Assault intercessors? No, that'd be silly. And then there's Sisters of Battle Arco lads. That is not a great box. The UK one, with the Imperial Guard stuff in it, feels like a concerted effort to make something that is worth the money, make something that is worth actually having. It feels like something that was put together to actually provide something of worth and use. The box that was received in Italy does not feel like that. That feels like it's had its value massively padded by chucking in 4 different characters. Now, I mean, you can do stuff with them. Obviously, as painting projects, you can do worse. You can do worse than these characters when it comes to painting projects, but you're not going to start an army out of that. You're also not going to really get anything in the way of bits box material out of it. Maybe the Arco chaps and lasses, maybe you might get something out of that for your bits box, but, I mean, four named unique characters, you're not going to get a huge amount out of it for that. So, the idea of it being a new army is kind of out the window. The idea of it being good for your bits box is also definitely out the window for that. Like, the relative value for what you get out of those kits for, like, how much you've spent is really not that great when it comes to that particular side of it. really you're only looking at a decent painting experience. And when you get down to the decent painting experience, yes, the 4 characters will be fun to paint, but you can't really use them all for the same army without some heavy conversion work, which would then still leave you with like 4 HQs, and what else would you even do? I'm not going to count the Space Marine bikes in there as like a fun painting job, because the Space Marine bikes are not a good kit. They are old, they are flimsy, they are a pain, they have horrendous lines down the centre of them, the back of the bike is all wonky and mismatched. It's just not a great box. Now, if they were all more geared towards the UK version, where the Imperial Guard stuff is prevalent and is definitely worth the money, then I'd say, yeah, these are a great idea. But if it's just down to people randomly picking stuff with absolutely no intention of making them in any way, like, cohesive, like if the box is literally just a random collection of, well, put that in, sorted, done, well, on the one hand, yeah, it is a mystery box, and you don't know what you're going to get, but I would hope that there would be some, at least minor amount of thought going into what actually went into it. A mystery box and a random box, you can still play with that a little bit and make it so it's actually worth having. I would be genuinely disappointed if I'd paid 75 quid and got a box with 4 named characters, 2 units that are specific to armies that aren't related to those characters in any way, and in the case of one of them, is not even related to Space Marines at all, and a kit of old bikes. Like, that would not fill me with the kind of joy that I would hope to receive upon opening a box where I've apparently saved 50% on the models inside. This seems to come down like personal, like the person picking the bits, it seems to be down to. The Italian one just feels like someone went, well, we got some of that lying around, we haven't sold any of those for a while, let's grab him too. Should we put a 4th character? Yeah, screw it, no one's buying Kosaru Khan because he's not on a bike. So we'll put him in, and then what else have we got lying around? Well, funnily enough, no one wants the bikes anymore, and the Fenrisian Wolves are old as hell, so let's stick those in, sure. Oh, we're missing a bit. Sisters of Battle? Grand, let's go. Like, what is the thought process behind that? Well, there wasn't one, and that's what I don't like about that box. If they were all of the same kind of quality, then that would be fine, and I think it would be definitely worth exploring in the future. But when it comes to just random nonsense units thrown together that have absolutely no like business being in the same thing, that's not so great. Of course, it is obviously random, it is mystery, and so you don't know what you're going to get, do you? But that's down to Games Workshop to make it worth you getting it. That's not your responsibility to make sure the box is good, because you have no idea. It's Games Workshop's job to make sure that it's actually worth having, and not just a bit lackluster and a bit naff, which one of them definitely is. Question is, what do you reckon? Do you think the UK version, do you think that's a good box? The one that was open in Italy, would you actually like that kind of box? Do you think you could do something with it? And if so, what would you do with it? And if you have received a box yourself and you're somewhere else in the world, or even if you're in either of those places but you got something different, then by all means, let us know in the comments down below so we can get a good feel for the rest of the regions that this was opened up to, and see what else showed up in the mystery box of delight or mild disappointment, depending on where you are. Thank you very much for watching. Feel free to click all the things. Just the usual array of stuff you could, like videos, and you subscribe if you like. That would be nice. We hit 65,000. We're going to try and do a giveaway. I'll bring that. I'll do something with that during the week. But don't worry, I do know. Yeah. There's also the affiliate link for Element Games in the description, which you can use to support the channel if you would like. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.